tonight in downtown Indianapolis at White River State Park. I assume it is sold out. I cannot wait to see the turnout. I cannot wait to hear his phenomenal Louisiana voice. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has bought dirt on numerous occasions, and then the next thing you know, becomes a country music superstar, a great golfer, a great boozer. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Davis.
Here we go.
Great to have you. Good energy. Love it.
Look shocked.
Decide not to come say hello to you guys?
It's smart move.
No, you guys didn't buy dirt. You guys didn't buy dirt.
I bought plenty of dirt.
I bought dirt yesterday.
No.
I just bought dirt.
No, you did not. He's
I
lying.
eat dirt.
No, yeah, you do. That's different. That's different. Jordan?
That wasn't me. We got some hang time before, so sorry, boys. I would have came over.
All good.
Yeah, you have to come do the big show fake. Hey, great to see you for the first time.
That's right.
Yeah, that's show business, baby. Yeah,
Hey,
show
this
business.
place is even more beautiful in person. Like this, talk about a great 9 to 5 you guys got going on over here.
We appreciate it.
Special spot.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, and Jesus used to live here, so we do feel as if he used to hover. Okay, I like to hear that because a lot of people.
He still lives here. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that he would never want to be around. I think a lot of people said, and then they were talking about over there in Paris. He wasn't there. He is, though. He is very much around, you know, in the entire thing. And we're thankful that you stopped by. We know it's a little bit out of town, so you're driving from downtown where your show is tonight. Are we in the middle of a tour? What's going on? Are you always on tour? I feel like you musicians are just always on tour. Is that accurate?
Definitely country. Country, I feel like tours more than most other genres. But, yeah, we're kind of in the middle of it right now. We're doing our own headlining tour. Mitchell Tenpenny and Ashley Cook's out with me. And then Saturday night.
Tenpenny. We know Tenpenny.
Tenpenny.
Yeah.
Dude, love that
What was
guy.
that one? So what was the song Tenpenny? He came on the show. Oh, my God.
Buy dirt.
That wasn't it.
Alcohol You Later.
That was it. Oh,
Yeah, Alcohol You Later, I think is what
But, yeah, we're on the middle of the tour with them, so we'll go with that to probably September. And then out with Luke Combs on Saturdays on his stadium shows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Damn.
Working in.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I got a chance to hear you play one time in a very close space. And you have talent, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Hey, real talent. Real boozed up.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
we're talking real boozed up.
That was after we did a part 3 and 18 holes,
And then that dinner,
and then we did the dinner. We were on the sauce, man.
we were gone.
We were.
Absolutely gone. And then Eli drops like hey, isn't there like some property that needs to be purchased? Like, and then guitar gets handed, and then it's like, hey, didn't we buy dirt? Yeah, we did. Bang. Okay, got it.
I feel like he was doing that for all of my songs. He would just be like, man, I could use like a slow dance in a parking lot or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I guess I'll play that one. Yeah.
Buy dirt, massive, obviously.
Huge song, man. And then having Luke Bryan on it was you know, kind of the cherry on top. But
that was obviously the one. How long had you been? I don't want to say grinding, but you get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the one that kind of, you know, we'd had some success before that, but that was really the one that kind of broke it out. But you know what's crazy is I wrote that song. We were at a writer's retreat, and Luke Bryan, you know, country, not everybody always writes the songs. You'll write a song for somebody and pitch it to them, try to get them to record it. And we had actually wrote that with Luke in mind. We knew he was making a record, and the idea got thrown out by Dirt, and I was like, man, let's write that. We finished by Dirt, and I remember that whole night I was like, I can't give this song away. I've got to record this. And next day I sent it to him in a text message, and I always tell this story to Luke too, because it's like I'm like texting him. I didn't know Luke super well at the time. Like, had his number, had met him at a couple shows. And I was like, man, I'm going to send this song to him and ask him to play on it. And it was like texting the hot chicken class.
Yeah, nervous, delete,
rewrite it, read it again. And it finally sent it to him. And, man, he called me right back and was like, yeah, dude, let's get in and sing this thing. And then it was just off to the races after that.
Writer's Retreat, that was because we're learning a lot about the country world, as I think College Game Day has introduced me to a lot more, I don't think this case. College Game Day has introduced me to
Yeah.
All of you country musicians.
The country scene.
Yeah, because everybody's from the South, right? That's big. That's a pretty big part of it. Although there are some northern guys playing country. I know Zimmerman is from Illinois.
Yep.
Obviously, Taylor Swift's from Pennsylvania.
Right.
She started in country, and she's the biggest of all time. But there's some Ohio, like, you get it. But there's so many country musicians that are massive college football fans. So I've gotten a chance to, like, meet you guys, chat with you guys. The whole business is interesting. The writing part of it's a big deal. So Writers Retreat, we go out into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we went to.
And then we do ayahuasca.
Yeah, get on some Rogers game. Yeah, no, I mean, like, it was me, my brother, two of my.
It's like a real community, though. This country music world feels like a real community.
It's small, like, and Nashville's very. It's a very tight knit, and everybody always says this, like, oh man, like, I'm cheering, that guy's my friend. Like, we're not lying. Like, obviously Parker is a good buddy of mine. Luke's become a good buddy. Combs and Brian, and everybody pulls for everybody, and like that retreat, we went down hour and a half south of Nashville, went down there, had a bunch of ideas. I wasn't making a record at the time, so I was like, well, man, who's looking? That's how, like, I was like, Luke's looking, let's start writing. So, I mean, we, wrote probably 5 songs in 3 days, and I ended up recording, I think, 3 of them, which is crazy because it truly was for other people. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good way to get out of town for a little bit, get away from the family and the kiddos for a couple days. And
work
and go to work.
Yeah, and we appreciate your brains. Honestly, we appreciate the way things. Next thing you know, obviously, like the amount of people that whenever they get married or have, like for me, whenever we had Mackenzie, it was like the first song that we were like really listening to. We even put the video, the post out was with that song. It's like you guys like are the soundtrack for people's lives and events. Not everybody obviously loves country, but like what you guys do is really cool to a lot of people, and I'm one of them. So I appreciate the hell out of your brain.
Thank you very much, man. Yeah. Next thing you know, that was a song I almost never put out. I kind of thought it was too personal too. And, country has such a kind of a structure. It's like you have a verse, you have a chorus, you have another verse, you have a chorus. You kind of want to repeat things. You kind of want a song where people can hold a beer up at a show.
Yeah, my truck broke down.
That's it.
Though people say that, but there's so many more.
There's a lot, yes.
There's so many more messages in like country music that I think kind of miss people.
But like we never repeated anything in that song. Talked about getting married, talked about having a kid, eventually talked about getting old. So it did. It broke a lot of rules in the sense of like what a country song is supposed to be.
Oh, you're an outlaw.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
From Louisiana, right?
I think from Shreveport.
Shreveport has a lot of, like, we're talking heavy accent, right? Isn't that
No, we're like northwest corner.
Okay.
So I always say, like, people from Louisiana, like, if I'm from Shreveport, they would always, I went to LSU, and I would go down there, and they'd be like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from Shreveport. And they'd be like, I didn't know you're from Texas. And it used to piss me off so bad.
no.
So bad.
I got it.
So it's like, south of Baton Rouge is, like, you're like a Louisianian. And then north of it, you might as well be from
whatever
Arkansas.
state is closest. That's a damn shame, huh?
Yikes.
They're claiming you now, though, aren't they?
They're claiming now.
Yeah, see that? Back then they didn't want me. Now Jordan Davis is buying so much dirt. They all on him. Joining us now is a man who I don't think he has any country songs in the pipeline, and I don't think he's from Louisiana, but I'm certain he's a fan of the way you guys run your business in country, too. You ever see how many tickets are sold at all these country events?
Absurd.
And they all gather up. You guys will gather up, too, and be like, hey, like pretty big stars. Like you're a massive star opening for Luke Combs. It's like, yeah, we can sell at a stadium though. So we might as well go ahead and do that. And like the business, it's
like Kenny and he went on tour with LD in church, and he's on with Zach Bryan now. Or excuse me, Zach Brown.
And Megan Maroney, who has
Megan Maroney,
who does like that. You guys aren't scared to like do business, like good business together as well.
I mean, it's like those stadium shows, like Kenny's. I mean, even Luke's now. I think we have 5 people on that day. So I mean, and they even have a show. Luke does a stage when people are waiting to get into the stadium. Luke sets a stage up and has bands come and play for the people waiting to get in. So I mean, it's like a mini. I mean, the Combs shows are like mini festivals.
So, which I think like that's like what the country vibe is, though. Like, hey, we're gonna, and then like whenever you guys do, like CMA will do CMA Fest, like all the actual stars are there. It's not like, oh, we hope like an up and coming will perform, and it's like country is very much. You guys have been really good to us too.
Oh yeah,
obviously just bringing your country asses through here, bringing all their friends. I mean, Jordan brought 14 guys. Dudes are
Buy dirt
absolutely.
boys.
Yeah.
These are the buy dirt boys.
buy dirt boys,
The BDBs. The BDBs.
I know,
dudes-
dude. I'm surprised they're not in y'all's gym over there.
Well,
They
we
get a
told him
pump
like
in, you
we
know?
told him like 6 times, like, hey, you're in that front room up there, you know, because we can kind of
Sit
hear,
down,
we
yeah.
kind of hear everything in there.
It's hard not to roam around, dude. I saw some good jumpers there too.
Yeah,
You got some athletes.
Dude, one of them's got a little stroke on him. Yeah,
Yeah, you got real athletes around, Jack.
Yeah.
The one was wearing just the biggest asshole shoes of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought? I thought they looked pretty good.
Well, that was why. I think that is what we.
They're clean shoes. I mean, you could have seen his crossover out here with those shoes on. He looked like Allen Iverson.
He had these high top Nobles on. These things are going to the middle of his shin. They look like wrestling boots.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
dude,
awesome.
He's an MMA guy. That's
Okay.
what it is.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Like it checks out.
Look
So-
out, he might break your arm.
So normally you just wear like an affliction shirt or something, or like have like the
Cauliflower
cauliflower
ear.
ear, and that's like your message to the world, like, hey, yeah, I know, you know,
Yeah.
like I can do it.
I can-
For him though, he's like, no, I'm putting. Very tight.
Tight.
Ready.
Tight.
That was a
Yeah.
good crew. You had a good crew. You had a
Yeah, they're good
which
dudes, man.
even more so to every country person that brings in their crew, they're all good people
Yeah.
too. So it's like we're very lucky.
Well, hey, we don't have to twist. I didn't have to twist any arms to get people to the Thunderdome, man. I think everybody's massive fans of y'all. So
no,
they were.
That is not. Maybe that.
Well, we talked a little bit. Yeah, maybe they are.
Yeah,
they
that
are.
crew right
Maybe
there.
not everybody.
Yeah, this guy was hanging out with Brett Favre a week ago.
Yeah, wait till you see the
Dude.
hashtags today.
Well, we were
Yeah,
talking
I
about
don't
that.
think-
Like we did a Toby Keith tribute the other night in Nashville. It was awesome.
Rest in peace.
And
Rest in
yeah,
peace,
RIP,
yeah.
man. And all like everybody, you know, Church was there, Jelly Roll, but there was some other. Brett Favre was there, and I was telling Pat that Brock Lesnar was there, and that is the biggest human I've ever. My wife came up to me and she was like, "There's a very massive human over there. I don't know who it is." And I look over, I was like, "That's Brock Lesnar." Like,
Yeah,
it's pretty
that's a
sick.
guy who, like, I've said for I think a couple of decades now, the aliens come and they want to fight. You know, if they're like, hey, we'll do your little octagon rules. Now their heads are probably popping up out of top of it, but you need to send your 4.
Yeah.
And then we'll send our 4, and then that's planet Earth. Brock Lesnar has been in that 4 for me for a couple decades
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I think once you see him, it even gets more cemented because it's just like it's an actual barn just walks by you.
It's I've never seen a neck that big.
Yeah. Well, and then the neck just leads right into the.
Just a massive,
And then the
it's
length.
crazy.
Yeah, and then
Like his
he can run a
hand.
4.4 too.
Yeah.
So
Well, and we were talking too, like, because like right then I was like looking at it, I was like, how did this guy ever lose a fight? And
I don't think he lost one, right, to
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez.
and I think Frank Mir got him one time.
Oh yes.
He did. That was like one of his first
But, like,
fights in the UFC.
Yeah, he was. You could tell he was
Roman
still kind
Reigns once.
Yeah, Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
WrestleMania. You're right.
Tribal Chief.
That was crazy.
He's also probably
Cody Rhodes got him, I think, over there
Yeah.
one time. But you're right. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to stand that guy mad at me if I knew I was having to just go and like the build up to it for 4 months, getting ready to get punched in the face by Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, not fun.
Terrifying.
So he was on a rampage one night at SmackDown, and we locked eyes, and he started quick walk sprint towards where I was.
Yeah.
And he had just taken out, I think, 8 guys with chairs, and he was bending these chairs over people's backs. And I think, he wasn't done yet. We might have still been on TV. We might have still had, like, math, 15, 20 seconds left on TV, but then the night obviously still going. So he turns around, and you just kind of see it, and then he just, like, looks at the commentary table. And me and Cole are standing, obviously, because he just destroyed 14 people in front of us. And he starts, like, beelining it towards around the ring to the commentary table. I'm like, no way. I took my shit off, literally took all my shit off, sprinted out of there, and then he do that to anything. He came into our old set, broke our desk, broke the thing.
So easily.
And what are you going to do? You're just like, Brock, can't do that?
Yeah.
No,
it's like,
you can't. You absolutely can't.
Remember,
do
you
that.
had to walk in. You had to turn sideways to get through a door.
He's also one of the greatest businessmen of all time. Nobody will ever talk about that. Country music superstar, owner of a CMA Song of the Year award.
Boom.
Jordan Davis has a question for you, Lombo.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Saints fan here.
Yeah.
Maybe Derek Carr's the guy, but obviously the years are running out there. But my thing, I mean, I just feel like he's getting up. No
Wow,
offense,
hey,
Derek
hey,
Carr.
hey, you asked your question, buddy.
Hey,
you asked your question, buddy.
You, brother.
I am a little nervous about the quarterback class coming out next year out of college ball. So is the Saints maybe making a potential move for a Louisiana guy in Dak Prescott if Dallas can't get it figured out?
Whoa. We're talking future.
Is there a way to bring him back to Louisiana?
I like that.
Well, if he got free, I mean, certainly you'd have to listen to that. I mean, look, I think the interesting about Carr is what Carr are you going to see, Jordan? Are you going to see the one who was 4-1 the last 5 games of the year, who threw 14 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions and had a really high completion percentage? Or are we going to see the guy in the first 4 games of the year who threw 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions?
Yeah.
First 5 games of the year, they averaged 15 points a game. The last 4 games, they averaged 26. So to me, which one are they going to see? Now, they doubled down on Carr this year when they agreed and to get cap room, they guaranteed his paragraph 5, which extended out more of his bonus money, which makes it harder for them to move on from him. They doubled down. The only player they didn't double down on was Kamara, whose numbers have been trending in the wrong direction significantly. So that makes sense. But look, I think that would be the one potential team that Jerry would have to worry about with Dak in terms of leaving, because they would have the ability, and Mickey Loomis is very good at being able to do it. Look, how did they get their franchise turned around when you won a Super Bowl? I mean, they beat Nick Saban. They didn't pass Drew Brees on that physical, and Drew Brees became a saint.
Yeah, and Jordan's, down here celebrating one of the worst nights I've ever been a part of.
Sure.
Jordan here is friends with Peyton. He's friends with Peyton Manning, obviously. That's how I ended up meeting Jordan Davis. And then he's like, Drew Brees, the Saints. Remember when they just shit all over Peyton Manning and his legacy as an Indianapolis Colt in a Super Bowl down there in Miami?
We've gotten past that, though. Peyton's forgiven me.
Yeah, that's because he won another one in Denver.
Sure.
Yeah. He was, what a career that dude. And then Dak Prescott's referencing that. I've seen a lot of other quarterbacks have to go play for other teams. It's just reality of the situation. And
might be my reality.
It might be my reality. I'm going to be where my feet are, and I'm going to work hard for my guys and everything. It's like, Dak Prescott and his agent are very much on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen.
In their bag.
Look at Matthew Stafford. He wins the Super Bowl. He goes somewhere else. Look at Peyton Manning. He wins the Super Bowl. He goes somewhere else. Look at Tom Brady. He wins the Super Bowl. He goes somewhere else. All those places, too, parades for him as he was coming there. There's no, this guy can't win the big, this is parades. All your shit that you did, it's almost like a rebirth.
Yeah, true.
It's like it's like baptism.
It's almost like baptism.
It's almost like baptism.
Yeah.
They almost just kind of clean it, and you're in a new place. And it happened with Aaron when he goes to the Jets. Packers fans were like done with it all. Not all Packers fans, obviously. Not all Packers fans. But there was a portion of Packers fans who were loud, who were basically like, we're done with this Aaron Rodgers shit. He goes in a dark hole. He's taking ayahuasca. We don't want to hear, shut up. Just play football, pretty much. Now, granted, his situation in Green Bay was certainly one that none of us could have understood. He had no say in any decisions that were being made on the offense side of the ball after playing there for 18 years and being an MVP and everything. That is not what we have come to understand in the NFL, at least. Let's get some ideas here, especially from the guys who are going to have to make it happen. But then he goes over to New York. The entire city of New York is like, whatever you want to do, dude.
Yeah.
You want to go to Wicked? Well, you could be in Wicked if you want to do that.
Right away.
You can go to the Rangers game. You can go to the Knicks game. You're walking down the street. There's like a parade every day. Like Dak Prescott has probably been talking about that since the last time his deal was kind of on delay, but now even more so with the research we've had and the examples we've had. It's like these quarterbacks probably okay and maybe pumped to go build a new legacy. Peyton lives in Denver.
Yeah.
Peyton lives in Denver right now. It's not like he lives in Indianapolis. Has a statue here, but he lives in Denver. Stafford, I assume, is going to live in Los Angeles, for his entire being.
Yep.
Tom's going to go into the Tampa Bay Ring of Honor Hall of Fame thing and have 2 homes. It's like Dak, so Dallas still, and I get to go to a new place, and the contract is going to be bananas if I want it. It's like a wild time in the NFL right now because that position used to be locked down forever, Lombo, in one place seemingly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, he couldn't move, but now you got freedom. And Dak's agent was smart, and he will make it to the market if Jerry doesn't do something beforehand because they can't franchise him.
They'll pay. Kirk Cousins just got $180 million.
Yep. After
when it only costs money, we see people rally up. I mean, look what Minnesota was able to do. Kirk Cousins was really the last guy that was a bona fide quarterback to make it to the market. Rarely does this happen. So, and look at the deal that Kirk got. I mean, Deshaun Watson got traded. There was value, and look at the deal Deshaun Watson got. Think about that. There's no trade involved with Dak. You lose no assets.
Oh my!
You lose cash, no assets.
Yikes.
And a lot of these teams, historically, when they've moved on from these great quarterbacks, they had replacement in place. Montana was gone. You had Young. Rodgers obviously went Favre, and then Love with Rodgers. So Dak right now, if he
paid.
Trey Lance, you gonna put it in Trey Lance? Like,
it's funny you bring that up, Darius, is because Trey Lance, the reason they traded for Trey Lance was because they had him graded so highly when he was getting ready to come out. He was one of their top players on their draft board. And Jerry felt like if that was our grade and for whatever happened in San Francisco happened, then we should trade a fourth-round pick for a guy that we had graded as high as we had graded and take a look at him. Now, from what I'm told, it still hasn't kind of gotten together for Trey Lance. He's, is a little bit behind, and it's not as instinctive for him to play within the framework of there. But that would make a lot of sense if you wanted to be able to get your cap in order, is if Trey Lance could be Jordan Love, right? And you could sign him to a deal that's more modest before Love signed this new contract. Now, all of a sudden, you've got more ability to be more flexible with your team. But if Jerry pays Dak, he pays Lamb, he pays Parsons, then it's going to be hard to pay a lot of other guys.
And who's the next coach, GM? Is it Bill Belichick?
Oh.
Whoa. We're talking about quarterbacks and having new homes. Let's go to Hammer Don. Tone has a question for you, Lombo.
Yeah, Lombo, obviously Russ missed the first few days because of the calf injury, and Justin Fields got all the reps. Russ has been back for 2 days with pads on, and Justin